2007 said to be one of the deepest drafts in recent memory, but not necessarily in the backcourt. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz alongside Ian Eagle, of course, calling games for the NBA and college basketball. And Ian, it's one of those drafts where everybody talks about the top with Oden, Durant, Horford, all the big guys. But one point guard stands out, and that's Mike Conley Jr. Why does he stand out more so than the rest of the players?
Well, I think if you just look at who won the NBA championship this year, the San Antonio Spurs, there is an interest from general managers on speed. It's something you can't teach. And if you look at Mike Conley Jr. and what he might one day turn out to be, Tony Parker does come to mind. Conley Jr. still has a lot to improve on. He is still green. And I do think if he stayed in college another year, I'm not sure the buzz would ever be as high as it is right now. He had a combination of things working for him. Ohio State had a great NCAA tournament. He was playing alongside Greg Oden. Tremendous chemistry between the two because of their childhood relationship, high school on to the collegiate ranks. Conley Jr. will be a top 5 pick. Question is, will he be 3? Will he be 4? Or will he drop down to number 5?
Well, and then here's the question, though. In the top 10 picks, which team needs a point guard the most?
Atlanta needs a point guard the most. Is Conley Jr. a reach at 3? If he does not go to Atlanta at number 3, wouldn't be surprised if Memphis then takes him at the following pick. The Grizzlies right now in a transition period, new coach, new GM. They do have to make some decisions about their roster. Pau Gasol, they built around him. Gasol doesn't seem to be very happy there. Gasol could be a player that they end up trading. If Horford is available, don't get me wrong, I think Memphis is focused on getting Horford, but if Horford goes 3, Mike Conley Jr. very well could end up at Memphis.
There are a couple other point guards in this draft that people are predicting to go in the top 5. As we take a look at the 3 there, you see Conley Jr. Javaris Crittenton also coming out after his freshman year from Georgia Tech. Some people thought maybe he should have gone back, stayed in the draft. And Acie Law, the senior out of Texas A&M. A lot of people having the Clippers taking a point guard at 14, some having the Pistons taking a point guard at 15. Do both those teams need point guards?
Well, first of all, on Crittenton, I was one of those guys that felt he probably could use another year, but who am I to come out and question his decision when in a number of mock drafts he is going top 12, top 15. Acie Law, let's face it, this guy showed that he belonged as a leader last year. He really, in my mind, has proved that he has a job in the NBA. The question becomes, is he a finished product? I think that's why some GMs have shied away from Acie Law, and why Conley Jr., who might have more upside, has gotten a little bit more of the ballyhoo than Acie Law. You asked about Detroit? Absolutely. The Pistons do need to address the point guard position because of Chauncey Billups. The question's right now, Jason, does Chauncey Billups come back? I think he does, but address it. Make sure that you have someone that can share those duties. Billups is getting up there in age, and let's face it, with the Pistons, they haven't had that backup to take some of the pressure off Billups. He's logged way too many minutes the last couple of years.
They've tried a lot of guys the last couple of years, and it has not worked. And for a team that 5 years making a dominant run in the NBA Eastern Conference, have only one title, maybe a little bit disappointing.
Also, you mentioned the Clippers, and I think there's a major question about the future of Sean Livingston. Great talent. He began to scratch the surface, although Sam Cassell still was outplaying him. When watching Clipper games, to me, Cassell stood out as the go-to guy, the leader of that team. With that said, a horrific leg injury. Do you address the point guard position again if you're the Clippers, or do you sit back and hope for the best that Sean Livingston can get back to where he once was? And even where he once was not a proven starter at this level. So Clippers and Elgin Baylor have a big decision on their hands as well.
Remember, Livingston did come out of high school. All right, let's get into the shooting guards here. And it's not the best draft as far as shooting guards go. Nick Young, projected as the top shooting guard to go. Ian, give me a quick thing on each of these guys.
Young, very smooth player, almost effortless when he's out there. Rodney Stuckey, he's a bit of a tweener, but a natural scorer. Derek Byers has an NBA body. Rudy Fernandez does not have an NBA body. He's 172 pounds. He's going to have to gain weight. Daquan Cook, one of those players that probably should not have left. And in my mind, I would have liked to have seen Cook as the go-to guy at Ohio State as opposed to leaving with Oden and with Conley. Afflalo, some question marks about him in pressure situations. Does he do any one thing extremely well? I think GMs are questioning him at the next level. And Morris Almond, that's a guy who very well could go up the ladder on draft day. I think there's been a lot of banter about Almond and his physical abilities and the fact that he is a jump shooter. A lost art, so they say, in the NBA. Almond could very well find himself in the first round when the smoke clears.
For much of the season, he was the leading scorer in all of college basketball at Rice. Real quickly, let's get back into Aaron Afflalo a little bit. Didn't do anything in the first half against Florida. Game was out of reach. Put on 20 points in the second half or so against Florida, but it was, I guess if you can call them meaningless, the points they really were. Is his game suitable for the NBA?
Oh, he's going to make a roster. There's no doubt in my mind Aaron Afflalo will be in the league. The question is he an impact player? I'm not ready to say that. Afflalo has a pretty good release, as you see there. I do think he'll get his jump shot off in the NBA. The questions with him simply are range. He's really more of a mid-range guy. You see his slashing ability going to the hoop. Is he a long-range shooter? I didn't see enough of that at the collegiate level to say that he's going to be able to step in and play from the perimeter in the NBA and keep defenses honest. He's going to have to extend his range if he's going to be a guy that can produce at the next level.
Most mock drafts having Afflalo somewhere between 25 and the end of the first round, maybe even falling to the top of the second round. All right, there you have it, the breakdown of the backcourts. Or the backcourt players here in the NBA draft coming into 2007. Not as deep as some other ones, but there are a lot of other players to come to as far as front court positions. And for that, be sure to check it out right here on CBS Sportsline. For Ian Eagle, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.